Instagram. Let me move it over. All right, so we have Tory Lanez, first on-camera interview since Megan Thee Stallion's shooting conviction. So Tory Lanez is officially breaking his silence on his first on-camera broadcast interview since being convicted and sentenced to 10 years in the July 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. Y'all hit the like button and answer the poll in the chat. In the case, Lanez was convicted on 3 felony charges in December 2022. The jury found him guilty of assault with a semi-automatic handgun, carrying a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Okay, Law and Order with Black Adam, people. Lanez was sentenced to 10 years in prison in August 2023. Lanez has maintained his innocence in the shooting, with his legal team alleging Megan Thee Stallion's then best friend Kelsey Nicole Harris was the shooter. Lanez has sought appeal after appeal and is now seeking a pardon from California Governor Gavin Newsom. Let us know what you think in the comment section, people. Let's get it. Hold up.
Tonight, rapper Tory Lanez breaking his silence in his first ever broadcast interview from behind bars.
And if y'all like this kind of stuff, man, y'all know what it is. Follow the boy for more. We discuss the music industry, hip hop news, entertainment news, things of that nature, all the drama, and we try to peel back that layer when it comes to the music industry. Let's get it.
Since being found guilty of shooting Grammy winner Megan Thee Stallion in the foot outside a party in 2020.
I've never been violent towards a woman. I would never hit a woman, let alone shoot a woman.
Now, shout out to Tory. Like I said, I'm going to do my breakdown. I know y'all want to watch, but I got to say, man, it's free Tory till it's backwards. Shout out to the umbrellas everywhere, okay? Shout out to the umbrellas. We keep umbrellas for the days it gets stormy. Here we go.
Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, spoke to NBC News from California Men's Colony, a prison where he's 3 years into a 10-year sentence after being found guilty on 3 felony counts, including assault with a semi-automatic firearm.
There is definitely a very big misconception about me that seems to the public as I'm this monster. And I feel like I was catapulted into this poster child for the unprotection of Black women. And it's just so unlike me. And I've never really had a chance to express that. But you can look at my criminal record. I don't have one. I never had one. And I feel like, you know, that connotation that I would do anything of this monstrous proportion is just, it's completely incorrect and it's wrong.
And like I said, we got to use this as a learning example. You know, ladies and gentlemen, pull up to the front of the club, please form a circle. Bruh, I know, and I told you guys this, I continue to say this on my stream, you know, we're watching the fall of the rap industry in real time, people. Watching the idea of being a gangster rapper, this whole idea, this facade that has been sold to us, we're watching it slowly go and dig into its own grave, right? So pay attention. Guys, gentlemen, ladies too, if you are in a position where you got to take the stand against somebody, my advice to you is to take the stand and speak your truth, regardless of how other people feel. And the reason why you need to speak your truth is so you don't end up in this situation. Now, at the end of the day, the reason why everybody's pointing a finger at Tory, whether or not he's, you know, the person that was the shooter or whatever the case may have you, because, you know, people will say he was the shooter because he got convicted for being a shooter. But at the same time, there's a bunch of people who are convicted right now in prison that didn't do it, right? And that's where I always stand, where we need to all understand that justice is not black and white. Justice is gray. But in this situation, everybody's pointing a finger at Tory because he didn't take the stand. And the reason why Tory didn't take the stand is because he was trying to be hard. And like I said, life is a domino effect, people. So please trust and understand, this ninja got stabbed 17 times in the penitentiary. Okay? 17, people. 17. Imagine the kind of trust issues you'll develop. Like I said, if you're in a position like this, bro, I don't care who it is, bro. You got to take the stand, bro. You got to take the stand. Here we go.
Declined to testify during his 2022 trial.
Do you regret not taking the stand?
I think if I would have taken the stand, the verdict would have definitely been very different.
The rapper's legal team filed an appeal, which was denied in November. But his team is continuing to fight, with plans to file multiple appeals next week, this time with the California Supreme Court, in one claiming newly discovered evidence that they weren't provided during Lanez's 2022 trial, including hundreds of pages of medical records for Megan Thee Stallion.
Like I said, gentlemen, you should have just came out. If you get into a situation like this with your significant other, I'm here to let you know, bro, okay? If you ain't do it, Ninja, say you ain't do it. It's all good. She ain't gonna go to jail if you say, I was not the one who did it. Sorry to whoever did it, but it wasn't me. That's all he had to say. That wasn't snitching. That wasn't telling. Whatever you guys want to call it. You know, you gang banging ninjas and goons and all this stuff out here in the hood. Yeah, bro. Speak up, because if you don't speak up, they'll tell you to shut up. So now everybody in the comments, this is what the comments say. Listen to this. Okay, so comments say, if y'all don't stop posting this, man, he literally called Kelsey and said, tell Meg I'm sorry. If y'all don't stop posting him, that's why you should have took the stand to have all this voice after the fact. I'm very upset with this. I still don't believe you, Charter, but doing all this after the conviction, it doesn't make sense. And the only reason why somebody would do this after a conviction is because there's more to the story. I'm of the opinion they're all lying because they don't want to get each other in trouble when they should have just told the truth. But the reason why you can't tell the truth to the police, shout out to the feds, right? The reason why you can't tell the truth to the police is because the police are not your friends. The police are here to do their job. Gavin Newsom literally just used Megan's song in his response. He's talking like this is a TED talk. Ninja, you wanted to be a street ninja and not say what happened. Well, this what happened. Now you got to do the time. Yeah, and like I said, all you street gang banging dudes, hey, bro, good luck to you. Shout out to the squares, Ninja. Shout out to the squares. Oh God, is this such a good day to where I can make music and not act like I'm a thug and still be hanging with them ninjas. And like I said, when push come to shove, hey man, I could put my hands up and say, I ain't do it and my hands is clean, leave me alone or else I sue. Here we go.
His real name is Megan Pete, which they allege raised questions about the fragments removed from her foot after surgery. His team argues that the fragments were not provided ahead of trial and that this was a violation of due process.
And we didn't have that chance. Or perhaps we could have questioned the doctors differently when they were on stand to impeach them, because it does look suspicious.
But in the appeal denied in November, the court did address the fragments, ruling that the surgeon's testimony was, quote, more than sufficient to prove great bodily injury on Pete. Proving something like this on appeal is tough.
This is a really, really difficult appellate argument for defendants to prove, because they have to show if the evidence actually came into court, the jury would have found differently. It's an uphill battle, and it's something that often torpedoes any defense appellate argument.
The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office and representatives for Megan Thee Stallion have not responded to NBC News' request for comment.
I believe not only that I was wrongfully convicted, but the amount of new evidence that has emerged since that trial, I think, has been overwhelming.
And shout out to this comment right here. This comment says, do you regret not taking a stand? That's a yes or no question. Don't beat around the bush. You either did it or you were protecting someone who's free as a bird while you are in jail. And I'm gonna tell you guys the problem, right? This the problem. The problem is all the dudes that was running the rap game don't want to let go of the idea of being street ninjas. And I hate to use 6ix9ine as an example, right? I hate to use 6ix9ine as an example, but I'll use 6ix9ine as an example, even though it may discredit me, bruh. Shout out to 21 Savage. I fuck with 21 Savage. Y'all seen 21 Savage came out and literally told Young Thug and Gunna to squash they beef because they knew Gunna was not a street ninja and this ninja ratted before and they swept it under the rug. But y'all want me to take y'all serious, bruh. But because if I speak about this out loud, because of my skin tone, because you know if I was white, y'all ninjas would be quiet. Shout out to my white brothers and sisters. Because of my skin tone, if I speak out about it, y'all gonna want to do me in, okay? Hit the Mario death noise. Y'all gonna want to do me in because I'm speaking facts, bro. So like I said, y'all don't want to let go of this street ninja image. You know you tough and you're a gang banger and you're a gangster. Like I said, nobody respects shooting a woman, bro. But you either did it or you were protecting someone who's free as a bird while you're in jail. And the question is, why would you protect someone? Because at the end of the day, if you don't protect this person, you're more than likely going to end up implicating somebody else. That person allegedly, because we're on the internet and people like to sue about this shit, that person is allegedly being, what's this girl name? Kelsey Nicole, whatever her name is, right? Kelsey. And the reason why you won't do it is because everybody's going to say you told. And that's why you let your lawyer speak for you. But in this case, you should have been spoke up. Here we go.
Life been like in prison for the last couple of years?
Truthfully, I've done my best to keep my head above water, but mentally I've gone through trauma that I sometimes even struggle with, because I never imagined myself dealing with things that I would have to deal with. I've been stabbed 17 times. Almost lost my life.
If you could say something to Megan Thee Stallion today, what would it be?
I think that I wouldn't say something directly to her. I would like that moment to happen in person.
Yeah, that means I can't say nothing to this lady or I can't say how I really feel, because if I do, hey, don't beat me up. But that's what that means, because if I do, it's going to be curtains, okay? It's going to be curtains, so hit the buzzer. That's why he ain't going to say nothing. Here we go.
We've both gone through a lot. There's this connotation that, like, I share this hatred for her, but I don't. I genuinely passed that. I'm at a place of healing in my life. I'm at a place of taking accountability for the things that I did wrong. And when I talk about my case, I don't want it to be taken as me coming at her, because it's not that. I'm just asking for somebody in the system to look at my case and look at the evidence and ask if this was fair.
It wasn't fair. And for those of you who don't know, if you actually read the case, I read the case. I read the documents way back when I was at my job, I just over broke, right? I read the documents, and yeah, he was railroaded, but at the same time, he put himself in a position to be railroaded, because I'm pretty sure I know his record's clean in terms of domestic violence, but I think he had some priors, which is what caused this whole thing to become, okay, let's make Tory Lanez an example. On top of that, if you read the court documents specifically, they aim at the fact of, I believe it was the fact that he has tattoos. They try to use the fact that he has tattoos against him, and that these tattoos were meaning that he's part of a gang, or he's in gang culture. And that's where he was like, hey, I have no actual record. Like, you guys are using the fact that I have tattoos when I'm promoting an image. And that's the thing. The image that we're promoting, yeah, you know, I get it. We like to sound hard. That's just the way rap goes. But we have to remember to remind people, especially in the case of the law, legal. We got to remind the law that, hey, this is just for the music. Like, it's real, but it's not real. Like, yeah, I would do that maybe. At the same time, I'm rapping about it because I'm promoting an image, and the image sells. Let's continue. Hold on.
And with that, Chloe Malas joins us now on set. So, Chloe, Tory Lanez is also seeking a pardon from Governor Gavin Newsom?
That's right. His legal team has filed the necessary paperwork, and it is before the governor now. So they're seeking either a pardon where his criminal record will be wiped clean, he would be released from prison, or to have his sentence commuted, meaning that the time he has served is sufficient, and release him, but that doesn't change his criminal record. As for when this could happen, the governor typically does these twice a year, so this could happen before the new year.
All right.
Hey, man, free Tory, Ninja. Come on. Free Tory. I'm of the opinion, regardless of what happened, I'm pretty sure he learned his lesson. I know y'all like to see people burn and rot in prison, but 10 years, I mean, I get it if he was allegedly guilty, but we just need this dude to come out and say whether or not he did it. Let me see if we have more. Hold up. 1 second, bear with me, people, and let us know what you think in the comment section. Shout out to Susan. Susan said Tory Lanez has to get some better lawyers to fight for his freedom. Facts. Yeah, it's a sad situation, bro. And I mean, he has good lawyers, but y'all gotta realize it's not about the lawyers. Like, the way the law shit works, that's why I tell you, if you look like me, man, if you have a darker complexion, shout out to my male counterparts and female counterparts of a lighter and darker complexion. Hey, man, stay away from the court, bro. When it comes to the court, bro, there's so many other factors in play that you don't know about. So there's different type of judges. There's different type of lawyers. There are judges that know the lawyers. There are judges that don't know the lawyers. So if a judge knows a lawyer, that judge is already biased. They'll never say it, though. But all they're going to do is, hey, let me talk to you in the back. What do they call it? I don't know what they call it, but basically they'll do a pause in the court. Let me talk to you in the back. Hey, man, cut me this favor. Why can't you cut me this favor? And the judge going to say, okay, I'm gonna cut you this favor, or, oh no, based off of this law, if I let this person go, what kind of statement does this say to the collective populace? And that's the problem. So the reason why they didn't let Tory Lanez go is because what does this say to the collective populace? This says a man can get away with allegedly shooting a gun at a woman, and they are not allowing that. Shout out to the feminists. I could take the credit for that. Yeah, man, a man is not going to be able to shoot a woman in 2026 and walk away from that bullshit, okay? No matter what. Here we go.
Chloe Malas for us. Chloe, thank you.
All right, so let me see. We're going to go real quick to TikTok. Let me see if they got some more. We would go to NBC. Maybe we should go to NBC. We'll try TikTok. If we won't see nothing on TikTok, we'll go to NBC. But yeah, man, let us know what you think, man. It's crazy, bro. Hold on.
Coochie was $40.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Tory Lanez on camera interview NBC. Has it popped off yet? I don't think it's popped off yet. It's starting to pop off. Here we go.
We're back now with an exclusive interview with rapper Tory Lanez, currently serving a 10-year prison sentence after he was found guilty in the 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. Tonight, Lanez's lawyers say there was evidence not presented in the initial trial as they argue for his release. Here's NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas.
Tonight, rapper Tory Lanez breaking his silence in his first ever broadcast interview from behind bars since being found guilty of shooting Grammy winner Megan Thee Stallion in the foot outside a party in 2020.
I've never been violent towards a woman. I would never hit a woman, let alone shoot a woman.
Lanez, whose real name is...
Okay, so they cut it up and all that. Let me see.
I've never been violent towards a woman. I would never hit a woman, let alone shoot a woman.
Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, spoke to NBC News from California Men's Colony, a prison where he's 3 years into a 10-year sentence after being found guilty on 3 felony counts, including assault with a semi-automatic firearm.
There is definitely a very big misconception about me that seems to the public as I'm this monster. And I feel like I was catapulted into this poster child for the unprotection of Black women, and it's just so unlike me. And I've never really had a chance to express that, but you can look at my criminal record. I don't have one.
And like I said, shout out, they call them the queens. Shout out to the Black queens. You know what I'm talking about? Hey. Yeah, bro. In all seriousness, bro, gentlemen, I'm of the opinion it don't matter what color the skin. If a woman will bring you to the point where you want to pop the glizzy, the Glockiana, all right? The Glockiana. Yeah, bro. Me personally, I don't want to deal with you. You have too much power over me. I'm of the opinion if a person can bring me to want to, harm them, I stay away from them types of people. I don't care what color skin they are. But here we go.
Never had one, and I feel like, that connotation that I would do anything of this monstrous proportion is just it's completely incorrect.
Should have came out. You should have came.
Testified during his 2022 trial.
Gentlemen, like I said, a smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Yeah, say, homie, you should have sung like a canary, bro. And it's not telling. You should have told your lawyer this what happened. I have a sworn statement. They say talking to your lawyer is not telling, right? That's what they say, right? So you should have told your lawyer, this is a sworn statement that I wasn't the person that did it, and I told you, because if your lawyer tell the court that you told your lawyer, I'm pretty sure that's not snitching. But then again, you never know with these gangbangers. Here we go.
Regret not taking the stand?
I think if I would have taken the stand, the verdict would have definitely been very different.
The rapper's legal team filed an appeal, which was denied in November. But his team is continuing to fight, with plans to file multiple appeals next week, this time with the California Supreme Court, in one claiming newly discovered evidence that they weren't provided during Lanez's 2022 trial, including hundreds of pages of medical records for Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Pete.
And Megan just having a good time chilling with Klay Thompson. You feel me? She having a great time living life, and you just in there with a bunch of men. Goddamn. Yeah, gentlemen, like I said, if y'all want to be gangbangers, you must like a bunch of men, okay? Hold up. Hey, shout out to the LGBTQIA+. Shout out to they, them. Shout out to they, them, and Zimzer. I don't mean for y'all to catch wreck, bro. I'm not saying it like in a hateful way. I'm saying like, bro, if you want to be a gangbanging ninja and do stuff that will potentially put you in a penitentiary with the same sex, I assume that you play for the same team. Now, all these gangbangers are going to hear me and want to kill me. Relax, guys. We do dark humor on the show, okay? Relax. Here we go.
They allege raised questions about the fragments removed from her foot after surgery, His team argues that the fragments were not provided ahead of trial and that this was a violation of due process.
And we didn't have that chance. Or perhaps we could have questioned the doctors differently when they were on stand to impeach them, because it does look suspicious.
But in the appeal denied in November, the court did address the fragments, ruling that the surgeon's testimony was, quote, more than sufficient to prove great bodily injury on Pete. Proving something like this on appeal is tough.
This is a really, really difficult appellate argument for defendants to prove because they have to show if the evidence actually came into court, the jury would have found differently.
All right, so look, let me take y'all back real quick. Way back in my J. Cole voice. All right, so they said, word on the net, right? You know, we do conspiracy sometimes. So they say, like, when this happened, right, this was the reason they had that this happened. And like I said, if you are an artist, you know about this. I'm a musical artist. Shout out to all the independent artists. Oh, shit.
I'm all your baby.
My bad. That's one of my sound effects. But yeah, all right, so this what was happening around the time Tory Lanez got caught up. So Tory Lanez, what's the shit called? NFT. Watch this, people. Listen to this.
It's gone. So it's gone. It's about me. It's about me. It's about me. It's about me. I'm a hustler. Million copies. I just went fucking platinum. I just sold the equivalent units. Y'all don't understand it. I just sold the equivalent units at $1. Sold 1 million copies flat. That's platinum, and I sold 1 million copies, and I made $1 million in less than a fucking minute, my nigga.
All right, so for those of you who don't remember, NFTs was popping off when Tory Lanez got caught up. They said 3 years. That was 2021 when shit started popping off. So Tory was the first artist to start selling his music as NFTs, which you can still do, and give people ownership. And he started talking about it. Now, I'm not saying this will happen. They said on the net, they being the powers that be, the gatekeepers, if you will, allegedly. Well, let me let Tory speak for himself. Here we go.
$1 for the NFTs, right? I sold these shits to my fans for $1. People came, some people bought 20, some people bought 5, some people bought 60. It doesn't matter how much you bought. It was only $1. You spent $60, you bought 60. I need y'all to understand.
I also want y'all to understand too, this the point where I think the music industry start going down. And when I say the music industry, I'm always referring to the hip hop rap music industry. Cause you know, there's the pop and shit and the rock. But right here, when the shit started getting messed up was right around this time. I believe this was 2021 when artists start trying to figure out a way to, we're going to say finesse the system that was put in place. Here we go. Listen, people.
Those copies right now is going for 50,000, 60,000, 60,000. Yo, my nigga, and these are sold. They're sold. Go look at the list right now and see how small the sellers list is getting. Y'all don't understand what the fuck is going on.